My name is Brandon Barlow, and I'm in the power industry field, and my job title is general foreman. And I also worked as a journeyman lineman before becoming general foreman. To become a journeyman lineman, you'll need to go to a climbing school of some sort, and there's about 5 in the area with Tennessee and Georgia. Kind of like a semester in college.
Yeah.
It's about 16 weeks. A typical day in line work, you'll get a job or several jobs depending on how big the jobs are. We have at Gallatin Electric, we have 2 line crews that are made up of 6 men each one, and we also have 2 service crews that are 2 men. Line crews typically get big jobs, pole change outs, run underground primary in subdivisions, new subdivisions, things like that. Service crews usually get the daily meter set tickets, running services all day, work on street lights, security lights, troubleshoot any outages that come up during the day, things like that. As the general foreman, I oversee the line crew. I try to figure out what jobs are coming up, prioritize which ones are going on which days. I'll go out and check with the crew, make sure everything's going good. As part of my job, I'm also over safety, so I also have to check crews for safety. I'm also over tree trimming, so I have tree trimming crews that I oversee and tell them where to go and what needs to be trimmed. I deal with customers with the tree trimming, things like that. I had decided in high school that this was the route I wanted to go. I had saw an ice storm when I was younger, and didn't really think anything about where electricity come from or anything like that. And back in the early 90s, I saw an ice storm and a lot of yellow Cumber electric trucks that were out working during the outages. And I thought, that's pretty neat that they're out here. This is how we have power with guys out here doing the work. And that's where I kind of fell into thinking that's what I wanted to do. And I was fortunate enough that the lineman schools started coming about right when I got out of high school. I think that kind of goes hand in hand. Most challenging is when we have major storms come through, working all hours. In 2006, when the tornado come through on a Friday, obviously we worked our normal day starting at 7. We didn't go home until midnight the next night. Got about 6 hours of sleep. Started first thing at 6 the next morning and started working 16-hour days until we got everybody back on. It's also the most rewarding thing was once we get people's power back on, just how grateful they are of all the hard work we do. Well, just one, in our field, the main thing is you can't be afraid of heights because you're going up in a bucket, you're having to climb poles, so you can't be afraid of heights in this line of work. Just math, there's a lot of math that goes into it, believe it or not, that you'll need to know. So those would be my 2 pieces of advice. If you like being outside and like a change of scenery, because we're hardly ever in the same place twice unless it's a big job, so it's kind of nice. When you're on the line crew, your office changes daily pretty much. You have different views, you're somewhere else. You're always doing something different, whether you're doing overhead line work or you're doing underground line work or services or street lights. It's something different, so you always have a change of pace. You don't get in a rut doing the same stuff every day.